Hi everyone, thank you for joining this Rider Pilates session where I've put together a selection of exercises for you that are designed to help you improve the control of your pelvis. So we're looking at improving your positional awareness and your movement, and these are going to help you move better with your horse and also have a better seat. So let's get started. Thinking of your posture, making sure you've got equal weight through your feet, that your knees are soft, that your pelvic headlights are pointing to the front before you start. Shoulders are open and relaxed, and your spine is elastic and stretching you upwards. And then I'd like you to see if you can identify that movement through your pelvis. So you're tilting those headlights up and down, isolating the movement to that area. Let me show you from the side. I'll bring my arms up in front. You don't need to do the arm pass, I'm just moving mine out of the way so you can see that movement. So you want that movement to be very much your low back and pelvis, so you're not having to get the rest of your back and your knees joining in. So even if you find this quite tricky and you're a little bit stiff, this is a really good movement to practice, because ultimately this is the movement that you are doing in the saddle. So if you find it difficult, it's a really key one to be able to do. Okay, then you're going to see if you can turn those pelvic headlights from side to side, but keeping your shoulders still. So again, we want to be able to rotate equally both sides without the upper body needing to join in. Again, this is a really key element of that ability to move with the horse, that you can move independently around your pelvis without it starting to interfere with what's happening up above. Okay, soften your knees, pop your arms across your chest, and then you're going to turn your shoulders from side to side this time, but you're now keeping your pelvis still. So again, thinking about in the saddle, if you are on a circle and you want to be able to slightly turn your shoulders to follow the movement of the horse, you don't necessarily want everything else to come to. You want to be able to shift your weight, but you don't necessarily want everything to be coming to. So it's about that precision of position and precision of control. Where is the movement coming from? Which bit is moving and which bit is staying still? Okay. Right, let's have you at the end of your mat, facing forwards down your mat with your feet together-ish and your knees soft. You're going to slide your hands down the front of your legs, curling up through your spine as you go, pausing at the bottom for a nice breath in. And then as you breathe out, slide your hands back up, tuck down with your pelvis, and then you're uncurling from the bottom to the top. You're going to do that again, so tucking your chin in and curling up through the whole of your spine. Try to feel each vertebra is moving. Breathe in. As you breathe out, bend your knees, and we're going to go down onto your hands and knees, and we're going to do your cat stretch. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, as you arch your back up towards the ceiling and dip your back down towards the floor. You want to feel that every single vertebra is moving individually, but they're all moving at the same time. And that's what's going to give you that feeling of flow. And as you come up, feel that you're pulling up through the middle of your back, and as you dip down, feel that you're sinking your ribs down towards the floor. Okay, we're now going to go down onto your back, and we're going to start off with your shoulder bridge. So let's have you with your hands on the floor beside you. Bring your feet a little bit closer to your bottom than you think you might need to. Pelvic floor onto floor 3 as you imprint your low back into the floor, and you're peeling yourself up off your mat. Pausing at the top for a nice breath in, and then bringing yourself back down, imprinting at the bottom. So it's pelvic floor, imprint, and peel up. Breathing at the top, and then coming back down again, imprinting at the bottom. Okay, the next one you do, I'd like you to stay up. Hold that bridge, make sure you are a straightish line, that you're not starting to sink down, but equally importantly, you're not really overarching. That's just going to lock you through your low back. Staying in this position, lowering one side of your pelvis and back up, and then lowering the other side and back up, keeping your knees as still as possible. So again, thinking about your ability to move with the horse. The horse doesn't move forwards and backwards, left and right at the same time. It moves forwards and backwards on one side, and then alternating that with the other side. So we need to be able to move through our pelvis from side to side as well as forwards and back. Okay, then see if you can straighten one leg, hold it in front of you,
and have a go at doing a few of these on one leg. This is really hard, so I don't expect you to be able to do loads of these, but it's a really good little exercise to be able to do. Okay, let's bring that leg down, straighten the other leg, and off you go again. So lowering one side and then the other side. And you're trying to really watch that the side that isn't being lowered is staying still, and you're not finding that it's lifting. So it's lowering one side back up and lowering the other side and back up. Okay, bring that foot back down, and you're going to bring yourself back down, imprinting at the bottom. Then we're going to turn onto your side. I'm going to go onto the side kick. So you can do this in various different positions. You can start off flat on the floor, mouse hole position open when you're on the floor, legs are in the capital L position, floating your top leg, and you're just bringing that top knee up in front and away again, as if you're polishing a coffee table. Pelvis is staying still. You can make it harder by lifting up so that you are resting on your forearm. You can make it harder still by lifting your pelvis. And for this version, you're still keeping your pelvis still, just moving through the leg. But if you want to really go the whole hog, you can see if you can add in a little bit of movement through the pelvis as well. So you're getting the hip movement, but you're also getting that pelvic movement. So this is kind of the killer version, but you're then combining hip and pelvis movement together, getting that real good control. Okay, last one. Okay, we're going to swap around and do that straight away onto the other side. So if you're happy, you can remember what we did. You can just turn over, or else you swap ends like I've just done. Okay, so first version, mouse hole position open, and you're just bringing that top leg up in front of you as if you're polishing the coffee table. Second version, doing it propped up on your forearm. Third version, pelvis off the floor. And fourth version, adding in the pelvic flexion, extension, tilts, that's the word I'm looking for. Adding in your pelvic tilts as well as the knee exercise, or hip exercise. So this is the killer version, because the glutes on the side that you're weight bearing on are having to work really hard, because they're not just taking your weight, they're also helping with the control. Let's just do one more of those. Super. Okay, bring those legs down. We're going to come up into sitting. Now you might find this exercise a bit easier doing this on a block. For practice, you might find actually it's easiest done on a firm chair like a dining chair, but I'm just going to teach it to you seated on the floor. Some of you will have done this before already. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is pop your arms across your chest, and you're going to practice to start off with just doing some pelvic tilts, slumping and straightening through your back. Okay, then I'd like to see if you can slump to one side and come up, and slump to the other side and come up. So I find this easier to the left. It feels easier to the left than it does to the right, but, and I can't quite see myself clearly enough on my screen, you want to be keeping your shoulders level, so I can't actually tell. I'm too small on my screen if I'm keeping my shoulders level. So remember what I said when we were doing the shoulder bridge with the funky leg bit, how our horses don't move forwards and backwards, left and right together. They move forwards and backwards on one side, alternating with the other. So not only does our pelvis need to be able to rock forwards and backwards, but it needs to be able to move one side at a time. So this is a great exercise for improving our ability to do that with the horse. Okay, right, let's have you up kneeling, and that's one I need to do a little bit more work on. Definitely finding it a little bit harder to the right at the moment. Okay, I would like to have your hands up in front of you. We're going to do your reverse Nordic exercise, holding imaginary reins in front of you, hands soft, elbows soft, as you lean back and come forwards. Lean back and come forward to the sideways version of this. So you'll see I'm a straight line, shoulders, headlights to knees. I'm not just arching backwards. Now what we're looking for here is for your pelvis to stay still, because all the muscles down through the front particularly are helping you to stay still. This is a great one if you are jumping, if you're doing cross country, you've got drop fences, or if like me you live somewhere where some of your hacking terrain can be quite challenging. This is a really, really good one for stability around the pelvis. Don't go too far with these, you won't be able to walk tomorrow.
Okay, right, staying in this position, we're going to do your kneeling roll up. So basically, a nice rising trot. And now I want you to imagine that you are going down the centre line towards the judge, and you want to make sure that your shoulders are over your pelvis, and as you go down, don't fold in the middle. So you really want to have that lovely, elegant lowering through the seat and back up again, shoulders are staying still. So you are controlling this, you are driving the whole movement from your pelvis. It's in control. And your hands staying soft and light. And then we're going to finish off from this position with your shell stretch. So if you can get your bottom down onto your heels, great. If you find that's a bit uncomfortable, I should have said that for the last exercise as well actually, you can always have your toes tucked underneath your feet, and then your bottom is just going down onto your heels. And you're taking your hands forwards in front of you as far as you can go comfortably. And then it's just a couple of nice deep breaths in. Let everything go, it's been working quite hard. And then bring your hands back up towards your knees, and we are going to finish there. So some of those exercises were quite challenging, but that's the point. You really want to keep pushing yourself. The better you can get your pelvic position, so in terms of your left, right weight bearing, but also your ability to control every single element of the movement around your pelvis, then the better that is going to be for your seat, your ability to move with your horse and your riding in general. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share this if you have found this useful and interesting, and also to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon.